That button doesn't work anymore. Unmute from the center of the galaxy. You have to press it really hard. For the center of the galaxy, this is ForceCenter, a show about Star Wars, pop culture, the ultimate adventure, battling technology every week. I'm Ken Napzok.
I'm Joseph. Damn that button, Scrimshaw.
Man, you just have to really just hammer down on it. Hey, everybody, we are here live. Live. If you cannot tell, ForceCenter now, and we take calls, video calls from our audience. It's the crux of the show, but a chance to dive into the possible further adventures of the Mandalorian and Grogu. John Favreau says, I got some ideas. I'm not done. What does that mean? But more importantly, not the business side of it. What can we dream up here today? Kind of the main thing there. But also, you know, how's your Star Wars week going?
Good. It's been a lovely Star Wars week. Still kind of going off the wonderful high of last weekend of seeing the film multiple times, and I'm definitely still seeing some of the kind of standard folks in my own personal world who are kind of grumps about Star Wars, but it was kind of like harumph, and they moved on. So it's mostly been being able to be around people who are, you know, enjoying it, the movie for its own weird little self.
Yeah, you know, it's funny you mentioned that. There was two folks. I won't say names. No need, because I just also don't want to deal with it. But they were very positive about the film. One in a review. There was some backhanded comments that other parts of the Star Wars saga and film slate and shows and all that stuff kind of expected. But I was at the screening with them. Didn't talk to them. Hid behind my popcorn bucket. And I was like, oh, they're not going to like this. Oh, they're not going to like this. And they really liked it. They had the kind of the I like it for what it is vibe, which I would take from them. And then another person on social media who I still follow, who produces documentaries and in the pop culture space and has just become a really obnoxious Star Wars hater. He and his family saw it, and he posted this glowing review. Also took some backhanded compliments of the shows that ruined the brand, like Kenobi, Book of Boba Fett, and everything. Got it. But he was like all caps excited. And so for me, I don't know what you feel, but like, regardless of the discourse that's always going to be present, and people that legitimately are like, hey, it didn't work for me. Hey, I don't like it. Or hey, this is that. I'm seeing more of that this movie is reaching people who I'm like, oh, guarantee they hate it. And they don't. They love it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think as you and I have discussed, I do think there are some really interesting, complex and thoughtful ideas in the film. But I also just think it is an adventure that grabs you by the lapels and pulls you forward. And I wonder if that is hitting a large swath of people, both people who want to absorb ideas and think deeply about Mando and Grogu. But also, I was thinking we saw the Mandalorian and Grogu at Disney's theater, El Capitan, on Memorial Day on Monday, my wife and I. And they have a laser show that just feels like it exploded from the 1970s. Like you ask somebody, what were the 1970s like? Who wasn't alive in the 1970s? Like, well, this laser show is probably what they were like. It's fantastic. But so the point is, in a Pinto, in bell bottoms. If Grogu had bell bottoms in this laser show, it would be the 1970s. But the point of me bringing that up is this is not in any way disparaging Last Jedi. I love The Last Jedi for what it is. But I remember seeing The Last Jedi at El Capitan after I'd already seen it like 3 or 4 times. It was probably like the 4th time I'd seen it. And it was like a lot of families and a lot of young kids. And I remember being like, hey, if you're 6, I understand that you are not thrilled by the adventures of existential dread from middle-aged Luke Skywalker, right? Like, I think Star Wars can absolutely be a range of things, and the ingredients can change. And there is existential dread and horror in The Mandalorian and Grogu, but it isn't as on the surface. It can also just be an adventure that just whips you through it.
Yeah, you know, just because we love, taking our shoes off and putting our feet in the deep end of the theme pool does not mean we also don't enjoy a good romp, or that if you're just like, it was a romp and that was it, that was good. So yeah, I'm with you on the excitement, and I can't wait to see it at home. And you know, I responded to this comment here. I don't know if they're watching. I tried to be fair about it, but someone kind of said in a negative sense that me saying, you know, I can't wait to watch this at home on streaming. If that's the highest praise, then that doesn't speak highly of the movie. And I really mean what I said to them in comments, and I'll say it here now. That is the highest praise I can give something. That means I want it in my life. That means I want it around me. That means I normally don't have time to sit and watch any movie at home like I watched it for the first time. Lord of the Rings, the trilogy, Grosse Point Blank, Almost Famous, Last Mohicans, the movies that have moved me, inspired me, that I put on the list of movies that changed my life. Star Wars is this collective spot on that list. That's what I mean. I can't wait till it's like with me. Can't wait till it's home and I can hang out with it. And yeah, I'm doing other things, but it doesn't mean I'm not paying attention to it, because I don't sit and watch any movie like that. In fact, if I just don't watch anything. These are the things that I love, that I want around me, and that's one of my takeaways from this film.
That's a great point. Some of my absolute favorite films I discovered after they were in the theater, and I've never seen Office Space or the original Scream in a theater, and those are two of like my favorite foundational films. So yeah, not always a bad thing. Not always a bad thing.
I did see Office Space in the theater
in '99.
99 Pacific Theaters,
jealous.
Northridge.
So jealous.
Okay, but here's the thing. I walked out of it and went, God, that was horrible. And
wow.
The second that got to my home, I don't even know how, because I also had roommates, so maybe they put it on. And it was like the experience in the theater, it was gone. It was a memory. It was so weird. It was one of the weirdest like switches in my head. And back then I was a little bit more like, the third act it's very, I could predict that Jennifer Aniston and him would get together. Like that was more like my takes back then. And now I'm with you. It's like, I think it's an important piece of art for society to study.
It has a lot to say. We'll do Office Space Center at some point. Also want to be sure to highlight this kind super chat from our friend Will Dixon. Will says, tip in the jar. Ken, get yourself a donut on me for being a decent human being on movie fights. Can't wait. And Joseph, here's to a down payment on that 3 3/4 Embo. Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Will, for alerting me. I was busy working on a short film, and Will posted on old Blue Sky that Embo was coming. And thank you for the super chat. As we continue to say, it's a little bit of a dark time for the financial rebellion of ForceCenter. So super chats can helps out a lot. Of course, not necessary, but they are helpful and appreciated. So thank you all for those.
Yeah, thank you, Will. I won't go into. I have water, not whiskey today, so I won't go into all the shenanigans behind the scenes movie fights. But it was fun to be back and hanging out with some of my friends at Fandom and Screen Junkies. So appreciative of the opportunity, and more on the way. And look for the TV fights reunion. Roxy and I got back together to bring you a special TV fights. I don't know if that dropped already. I think maybe next week, but a lot of fun. So thank you. All right, shall we dive in, or I'm going to be honest. I have not really thought of my own future adventure ideas for Mandalorian Grogu. Do you have, Eddie, even if they're vague?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. It is hard for me to separate the show and the business on this question, to think about like, well, what is going to work in this modern day and age versus like what kind of stories do I want? I think for me, I don't care if it's a film or a television series. Ultimately, I think a film probably makes more sense, but my wife and I weren't able to finish our rewatch of Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett before the film came out, so we've been watching season 3. We watched 2 episodes last night, and yeah, it's really good. And I forgot how big the set pieces are. Like in that convert episode, that the third episode that people tend to remember as it's the one on the Coruscant where we don't spend much time with Mando. There's that TIE interceptor chase at the beginning where they blow up Bo-Katan's home. Like, that is a phenomenal fighter battle. Like, so it is rewatching the show and getting up to season 3 in particular is making me feel that the challenge of what is action big enough for the big screen versus what had they really started to accomplish on the small screen by season 3. Like that whole discussion of it's just a TV show. Like, no, the TV shows were getting to be movie level. So I think that I bring that up because I think it makes it even more sort of muddy for me of like the medium that it comes in, TV or movie, feels almost more like a business discussion. So for the story, I really want some of the threads that have started to resolve. I still want to figure out more about Grogu's trauma and backstory. I think the movie was a great step forward of like whatever trauma he has about loss, he faced his fear and powered through, right? But I still feel like you started the story with Kelleran back in the Naboo ship tease, so let's finish that story.
Mm.
Grogu is on a journey to become a Mandalorian. He isn't a Mandalorian. And I feel like that story I would love to see resolved.
Mm.
I think this third season of Mandalorian is about the Mandalorian people coming together. So how's that going? You know, I would love if it was 2 movies, 3 movies, whatever. I would love to get to it sort of, and they're staring off at the horizon together, and their adventures could go on, but it feels like here's kind of the defining moment of their adventure. Here's where Grogu becomes who he's going to be, and Din is set in his way. I don't need Din to die. I don't need either of them to die to clear. I don't need to find out that Kylo Ren hunted Grogu down or whatever. But I feel like their story is still in the middle. Like we've gone on this whole journey with them, and we're in the middle of this story of Din training Grogu to become a full Mandalorian. Does it end with the little weird helmet coming on with room for the ears? I just think that arc I would like to see completed.
I'm with you. However, the moment you say Kylo Ren hunting Grogu, I'm in. I am in. We've got the hunt for Gollum coming. Let's get the hunt for Grogu going. I know what you mean. I don't want to wade too far into the business of it right now. That's not the point of today's show, but it factors in when you think about it. With the movie slate being, I'll say, both crowded and sometimes frustratingly wide open. Even with some rumors out there this week, I know about what might be forthcoming. But so I'm less worried about that. I'll just say here, I'd love to go in the theater and see them again. And exactly what you're talking about is great. There's a lot of things still left on the table that I think it was a good decision to not address in the film, to not just make it season 4, but to do something a little different. But we still have it there. And, you know, I was just talking to a friend of mine who's working on a project for Marvel, and I was like, how many episodes a season? They're like, oh, it's not a season, it's like specials, like also basically 2 episode specials. And you know, we grew up with the Sunday night movie and all those kind of things. I wouldn't mind, like, you know, give me some Mandalorian Grogu specials. I don't even know if I need season 4, but like this one is a little bit more on Grogu. It's the Kylo Ren Beck stuff. Maybe this Bo-Katan comes back in this one, and kind of see those adventures play out that way, and in the business sense, but also the dreaming up of the fun adventures.
Yeah, I think that's great, because I think some of the television shows, not necessarily for Star Wars, but a little bit, and for Marvel, are both like, well, if they were pitched as a movie, but you don't want to put them in a theater, just make 2 specials instead of, you know, this kind of television show thing. It's got some great questions in here. We got some calls coming up. Do you want to grab any questions? Or you want to go to our first call, Ken?
I'll first start with just what were the rumors. If you've seen it, if it firms up a little bit more, it's something we'll talk about in Star Wars News, but I don't think it is. It's just this idea that Kimberg's trilogy is going to be 10, 11, and 12 and stuff like that. And I think I saw that. I think I saw where the steam started popping up through Mount St. Helens, and then I saw it get picked up and explode. It was just like, you know what I mean? It was like someone might be really stretching something that actually, quite frankly, seems obvious. That might be what the case is. So that's all. And if it firms up, we'll absolutely talk about it. Yeah. But let's do a call. Sorry, I'm going to Dodger Stadium tonight, and someone just texted me, I can get you 40% off of food. And I got to be honest, I really was distracted because I was like, I need 40% off the hot dog.
The Dodgers pizza is quite good, but as I recall, spendy. I had 2 hot dogs, and then the pizza guy came around the last time I was there and was like, I got to try the pizza. And I waddled out of there.
I'll be waddling indeed. Sorry. Full honesty, that was a distraction that just came across my screen. Do you want cheaper Dodger dogs? Yes, I do. Yes, I do, friend. Yeah, let's take a call. We got Mike and Eli and Maddie queued up in the queue there. If you want to call in, you got to be a Patreon supporter at patreon.com/ForceCenter. Thanks to those that helped us reach our goal before The Mandalorian and Grogu came out. We'll continue with the new goal this week, a new number of support. We really appreciate you. Discord has been running rampant with wonderful Mandalorian and Grogu discussions on all sides of it. Some very wonderful discussions of, I thought this and this didn't work. And, I meet you at that, but you guys just really doing the best in that Discord. It really makes me proud to have you all here in the ForceCenter family. But Let's take Mike calling in right here, right now. Camera ready, he is, and there is Mike. How you doing, Mike?
Hey guys, doing great. How are you?
Good. Thanks for
Very
joining
good.
us.
Yeah, I'm so glad you did another live stream this week because I was like the opposite of most people. Usually I'm free on Mondays. I wasn't this week. And if you allow me, I just have to gush about the Mandalorian and Grogu for a
Please.
minute.
Yeah.
I posted this in the Discord, and I'm sure some people thought I needed to adjust my meds. Don't worry, I'm working with a counselor and a psychiatrist. But I stand by it when I say that I was so overcome with joy that I cried while I was watching the movie. I have not been this filled with joy watching a Star Wars film since 1999 when I was 12 years old, watching The Phantom Menace, my first theatrical experience with Star Wars. I think maybe some of the early reviews that it didn't progress canon and all that, maybe that helped me because I just went in to have fun and I was like squeezing my boyfriend's hand every time like there was a connection or something meaningful. And I just think I squeezed his hand the entire time. So I just loved it so much. I just appreciated what it was. So many, like seeing now Hutta in live action, that was amazing. And little things like Grogu building the hut, my head exploded. I was like, wait, is this like, this was like canon building for me. This was lore. Is this like native to their species? Like, I just was thrilled with the movie start to finish. I just absolutely loved it.
Mike, I'm thrilled to hear that. I'm sad. It's sad to inform you that you're all wrong. The public said this movie is bad, and there's nothing to take from it. Okay, I'm so sorry to inform you that you don't win this.
I know, Ken. I tried to watch the movie fights. I tried. I could only get about halfway through it, but
so could I.
Yeah.
No, Mike. Seriously, I'll let Joseph jump in here too. That kind of stuff moves me too. That's why we keep coming back here. When people ask us why we approach Star Wars the way we do, it's that. Yeah, we can get bogged down in the business things. There's things we don't like. There's things we'd like to be changed. It is you reaching to your boyfriend and grabbing his hands because something up on the screen is moving you and therefore moving you and both and everyone in the theater. That's the stuff that makes me really happy to be a Star Wars fan. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Very relatable. Yes, I got to see it. Had to see it by myself the first night, and then the next two times I saw it with my wife. And there's lots of good hand squeezing at favorite moments. I love what you said about just Grogu building the hut. Is this canon? Like the idea that this is new information about a character is like a great thing to explore. Of like, yeah, does he make little clay pots on the side? Was he always good at this, or is he like, I don't like digging the dirt, but I bleep and have to for Dad? Like. It's so fun to just fire your imagination based on the new things you see.
Right, absolutely. It's easy to imagine an adult Yoda might build his hut, but I was like, but Grogu just does it instinctively. What does that mean? So yeah,
that's really cool.
I hadn't even. Sorry, Mike, you're blowing. I hadn't even thought that maybe that is not that was an explicit connection in the movie, but like the species could have just a love of mud huts that they make.
It's just he has to build the hut. It's just instinct.
It's like when my dog burrows. It just does it. Yeah. Right. Anyway,
I loved a ton of little things like that. And for the future, I don't think Grogu will ever speak. I don't think we're ever going to see that. I was really touched, and you guys talked about this, the way they said he doesn't speak. It's not he doesn't speak yet. He just doesn't speak, and he doesn't need to, and he can get by through other means. I would love to see him continue to develop both as a Mandalorian and a Jedi, but really, I'd love to see a closure to his backstory. At least, I read that Jar Jar Binks comic just in case earlier this year, trying to be prepared. That's the ship. I made my boyfriend watch the whole Order 66 thing on YouTube so that he was prepared, and I'm fine with it not paying off, but I would love to see that someday.
Yeah, no, I agree. Do you care about the medium, about movie or TV show, or is it more just about the story for you?
I don't care. I don't care about the medium. I would be thrilled with a Disney Plus movie. I'm like, guys, you can spend even less money. I'm okay with it. Like, and personally, I think the biggest draw to me for Star Wars originally was special effects. I'm obsessed with the volume. I spend all my time trying to see if I can see it. I'm fine if they give me a Disney Plus movie shot 100% on the volume. I'm fine with that. I just want more storytelling in Star Wars.
And I think they're getting better and better with it too, and it's still a fascinating technology. I was just, the House of the Dragon season 3 trailer dropped today, and I was reading an article on it, and they were talking about how a lot of the stuff is filmed on the stagecraft, the volume, the LED sets, and I think it's just getting bigger and better. So it's not that scary word that even I've been a part of saying. It's a scary word in the past. It's something different now. That's great. That's great. All right, Mike. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for pitching things into the future. Agree with you. Read that Jar Jar comic, and it's good on its own. But if we could maybe connect that to something bigger, I'd be excited too.
Awesome.
Thanks,
guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mike.
We watched the Foundling last night, the season 3 episode, which is one of my very favorites of all of the Mandalorian, with the flashback. And Sarah's like, so can we talk about this afterwards? Like, yeah, let's talk about it. So I told her about the comic book, and just saying out loud again is like, what are they doing with that? What are they doing with that?
Even again, I think in the end, I'm really happy with what they did with the movie in terms of just it's the Mandalorian and Grogu. The title is what's also on the tin, a phrase I know you love as well there. But what are we doing here? Come on, my appetite is whetted. Let's do it, so baby. Sure that will come up today. All right, let's bring in another call here. This gentleman is not only a regular around these parts, he's a regular around our comedy shows, Joseph. He shows up and supports, and we appreciate it. We had a great Star Wars comedy show on Sunday this past week. Gosh, time flies. And that, of course, is Eli checking in. Eli, my friend, good to see you.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, Eli.
All right, what do you want to see?
So I had two big ideas. One, both characters that I'm interested in seeing in a potential Mandalorian and Grogu sequel, movie, whatever it is. The first one I thought would be an interesting villain if we're building up these Imperial warlords. These Imperials who are carving out their own, portion of space, planets, all that kind of stuff. I'm going to pull from, and I'm sorry to use this word, I'm going to pull from Legends here.
Oh, God.
And there's a character from Legends named Warlord Zinj, who is in some of those post Return of the Jedi books, who's this big mustached man who has I don't know, I always picture him in my head as this guy who's he's that arrogant Imperial stereotype that we love for those people like Mahdi and people like some of the Imperial officers and rebels, but he's better at it. He's in terms of confidence, he's in that middle range, sort of like a kind of like a Piet, sort of not like Thrawn or Tarkin tactical level, good, but not like Nita bad or something like that. So
while you're talking,
right
Eli. While you're talking, keep talking. I'm gonna bring this guy up here. I found.
Yeah.
Ooh.
There he is. Yeah. He's the guy in the white
in the
Imperial.
middle.
Yeah.
This looks like a Star Wars version of the board game Clue is going to happen.
I've never seen those figures of him, and I feel like I got to get them.
Really.
In addition, I also have somebody who I think would be an incredible Zinj.
Okay.
And I think that would be Nick Offerman. Would be a fantastic Zinj.
You're certainly in Jon Favreau's casting wheelhouse of. Can I make a comedian scary? Jon Favreau wakes up every morning going, "Can I make a comedian scary?"
Truly. Yeah. So that's my first idea: is Nick Offerman Zinj as
I'm on board.
As a
I'm
villain.
on board.
And
Grogu's
my
first
second
kill,
idea,
Nick Offerman.
Yeah. It's and it's also from my desire, and again, I think this was a lot of the marketing and stuff like that. I thought the Empire and the Imperial Remnant was going to be the main villains of the Mandalorian and Grogu, and it's fine that they're not. I think the story that was told was really good, but I would love to see a sort of like a mini boss Imperial as a villain of the movie on the way to the final boss, which is of course the Grand Admiral.
Right.
The second one is way more in the Star Wars wheelhouse, and it's just a character from another medium that I would just love to see, and I think would pair well with an Imperial setting because they themselves were once an Imperial, and that would be Iden Versio. It's filling sort of a Zeb role for Mando and Grogu, as a companion of theirs. I think a New Republic Iden. Maybe Dell's taking care of the kid at home, and Iden's going out and hunting some people who I was imagining earlier as I was thinking about this scene in my head of so did you know, like, of Dan asking her, so did you know Zinj? And it was like, no. Well, she was like, no, my father was an admiral in the Empire, and he described Zinj to me a few times. Seems like kind of an idiot. But yeah, I think it would be really interesting, especially because Din has been, like, the vast majority of people that Din has been killing have been Imperials, and just to deal with somebody who was, up until pretty recently, an Imperial herself would be a really interesting, like, idea to explore with him.
I mean, I hate to sound like it's 2017 up in here, but yeah, give me some Iden Versio live action. Janina Gavankar slides right into the role. Yeah, yeah. You got characters, you got casting. Eli, you got Go Picture.
Yeah, you got to write this.
those were just the two ideas. I'm like, I see, like, some strands connecting and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, those are my two main ideas.
Those are great.
Great stuff.
And do you care about television or movie, or is it more about the ideas for you?
For me, it's mostly more about the ideas. I would love a Mandalorian season 4. I think the only thing for the general saga of the Mandalorian that I really care about is that I do want Dave Filoni to get his movie at the end, wrapping it all up. That's really the only thing I care about. I think like an Endgame style, like a culmination style, like movie that wraps everything up, I think would be a really good way to end this whole thing.
Can't disagree. Yeah, I still wonder about the status of it, like a lot of people do, but the story's still heading there, whether it's film or not. Absolutely. So yeah, there we go. Eli, thank you for here. Thank you for Sunday coming out and support the show.
Absolutely.
Sorry for all the body cream I squeezed on you and everyone.
I'm never going to forget that. Yeah.
There you go.
They can smell it in Utah.
Still. There you go. Thank you, Eli. We appreciate you, buddy.
Thanks, Eli.
We got calls lined up from Maddie and Jordan there. I'm still smelling them. Sorry.
Got a couple of kind super chats that have come in, so I think we should grab those real quick.
Indeed.
This one comes to us from James Home of £5. Thank you very much. After the Hutt's demise, who steps in? Salacious B. Crumb. Who can take him down? Grogu and his own A-team. Meaver Gascon saves the day at the end. A little war. Yeah, that I've been hearing more people have that discussion. I know in the comics, Vader has had, lessened the Hutt count, and then Jabba dies, and there's a power vacuum, and can't be a ton of Hutts, sniffing around since they let Bib Fortuna sit on that throne for years, and some discussion about like, is that it for the Hutts? Is that a wrap on the Hutts, or is there still a crime family going on? But yeah. I would. It's Salacious Crumb. Certainly, we've seen the Quankian monkey lizards, but if Max Reba can survive, so can Salacious B. Crumb. So bring him on.
Yeah, like he launched when it exploded. He launched in the air like a Muppet. What was at the end of what Muppet movie? They all end up in parachutes and they're going down singing at the end. Was it the Muppet Cape or whatever it is? That's what Salacious B. Crumb did.
Yes, absolutely. He survived. You have any thoughts or feelings about the Hutt's demise, Ken?
I do. And we've got a super chat from Jeannie from Tahini saying, do you think we'll see Rod in season 4? If yes, do you think it will just be a quick high or multi-episode arc? If that were to happen, I think it might be in between that. I think he might be featured in an episode or something like that. Yeah, now that it's established that he's like, hey, I'd like to help out around here, that opens up a lot of possibilities. I don't. I think he's just part of the ensemble. Obviously not saying I need a Rada-led movie, but he continues to be a character people keep bringing up when I'm out in the wild, or even sometimes in our comment section here of stole the show. And I think it's tremendously hard to pull off Hutts in live action in terms of how it looks, but I think they got there. And also I think it worked by the amount of people saying, Rada stole the show, and I love that character who had no idea who Punky Muffin was. So that tied into the Hutts, like he's, I don't know if you're gonna do they're gonna pull me back in type of Godfather crime drama with him and with left. I'd like to me it's a big galaxy. There's other Hutts out there that you could pull if you want to. Someone with a claim. But it's just, to me, whether it's answered in a movie or show, it's just kind of that fun Star Wars daydreaming about what's out there.
Yeah, I agree. I think he'll definitely show up again. I mean, certainly the Mandalorian and Grogu tales often the lesson of building community is reinforced by people that they have created bonds with, where they could have just had conflict, come to benefit one another. And yeah, there's so much swimming out there with the New Republic and the Thrawn War, and I'm very curious to see, with the Filoniverse movie that Eli was mentioning, that, or not Filoniverse, but Mandoverse movie by Filoni that was announced, 3 years ago in 2023.
Yep.
They have made such a thing of talking about how it's Akbar versus Thrawn in Ahsoka season 2, and if the plans have shifted, and it's like that Ahsoka season 2 is the big finale. I'm kind of holding my breath to wait to see, like, is that the skirmish setting up something?
Right. Yeah. Just hearing that some of that stuff, Akbar's involvement. Yeah, you're right. I feel you on that there.
Gaz brings up.
Go ahead.
Nima the Hutt. Yes, Nima. The Nima Outpost. Nima's still kicking.
Right. Yeah, absolutely is. Absolutely. Zeb and Rada side adventures one shot. With Callus in there. Zeb, Callus, and Rada running around, breaking hearts, fighting missions. David McKay says, the Trapper Wolf verse. Love that there. We got calls from Maddie, Jordan, and Jedi James lined up. Let's take an audio call from our buddy Maddie Gunner, calling from an island he's trapped on. Maddie, how you doing?
I'm doing well, my friend. How are you both doing? You all right?
We're good.
Yeah,
We're
got
good.
a little bit of whiskey. Talking Star Wars. Lovely. What time? I know it's later there, right? What time is it?
It's just gone 10:30 in the evening here.
Okay. Nice.
Not too late.
It's getting warmed up.
Yeah, just getting warmed up. Just got back in from jiu-jitsu. About to play the new James Bond game. About to start that.
Oh, that's right. That's out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of like 9s and 10s in the review. I'm not a big Bond guy, but when my friend was like, it's a mix between Hitman and Uncharted, I was like, all right, I gotta play this.
Man,
good.
I used to live for James Bond video games. I need the time to play this with this young pup preppy upstart playing James Bond.
That's gonna be tempting. That's gonna be tempting for me. Maddie, what do you want from Mando and Grogu going forward?
So I've got two things. One, selfish. One, I think would actually be a good way to expand on the story told in the movie. I feel like whether it's a season 4 or a special, you guys know I don't care for the business side of things. We saw a lot in the film of Din kind of not wrestling, but coming to terms of when to fight, when not to fight. And the whole Mandalorian but like the ethos is using violence to prove your strength, prove your worth, show where you are in the pecking order. And Din's kind of pulling away from that. I think it would be good we've seen a lot of Din and the culture of the Mandalorians. I would love to see Din go on the journey with Grogu of learning what it is to be a Jedi, because I think it would be really interesting for him to learn that there's not really that much of a difference between the two. They're not a species, they're a creed. They take in all manner of people. They practice ritualistic combat. They live by, whether their codes are the same, they're completely different. Both sects live by a code. So I think it would be a really cool journey to have Din go with Grogu, have Grogu kind of be more the lead, and have Grogu essentially walk Din down the path of the Jedi and show him that our two people aren't that different.
I really like that idea, and I think it was such a great part of the film for me to just see that Grogu isn't using the Force violently at all. It's all, sort of defense and saving people for the most part, except for that one mouse droid that gets it at the beginning.
He was going to do bad things. That droid was doing bad things.
Oh yeah. So I'm so I would be so interested to see that, and it does feel like Din is very concrete in the film of like, it's a last resort that I feel I must take. The last resort comes up a lot. But he explicitly says it's a last resort. So to see him wrestle with that more and understand Grogu's perspective would be fantastic.
Yeah, and to me, Maddie, you're almost pitching, I'm not an expert in the genre here, but like this kind of like a samurai film vibe, right? They're out and about learning these lessons in real time. Yeah. Oh yeah. Getting some blades out and having some fun. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of and just kind of dealing with something that's philosophically rich through, not necessarily a bunch of action and violence, but through that kind of motif of we are warriors and what does that truly mean? And I'm on board, Maddie. It's a think piece. It's a tone poem think piece you're pitching.
I believe there is a new samurai film just come out with, I don't know if the guy's related to Akira Kurosawa, but there is a director with the last name Kurosawa who's just put out, and I think Jet Li's in it, so like maybe that's the person that you bring on to do it. I don't know, but yeah, it would essentially be like a samurai film of them going and learning to help others, and then just realizing, violence isn't the only way. It's the last resort. Just somehow we end up finding ourselves in these situations a lot.
Yeah. No, I agree. No, that'd be beautiful. There's some beauty in your story you're pitching. Maddie, we appreciate it so much. Good luck in the fighting pits. Are you training or are you just training?
I'm training. Okay. We're working, but I just had the one more little selfish thing. I think it's time that we've had multiple big battles within Star Wars, Endor, etc. I'm ready for the Battle of Helm's Deep, the Battle for Winterfell on Mandalore, with all the Mandalorians there. Just give us that massive on-screen.
Yes. And Ethan makes this very good point. There is still a giant mythosaur in that lake. Somebody has to ride it at some point, or write it. Both make sense. But yes, that's how this ends, with Grogu riding a mythosaur.
Yes. Oh God, yeah, even better. Putting it to sleep, just like go to sleep. That'd be good. There you go. Good stuff, Maddie. Appreciate you, buddy.
Gents. Have a good weekend.
All right.
Thank you, Maddie.
There you go. Yeah, love that. All right, we got rolling on here. We're going to be up to about 3 o'clock, 3:05 today. So if you want to call in, get your calls in now. We got Jordan and Jedi James lined up here. I think I know I'm having crinkly internet right now, which is amazing because I'm plugged in directly to a router. I wish I had force powers to fix the internet. That's what I got. All right, let's bring Jordan in here. Hey, Jordan, how are you?
Hey, guys. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, we hear you.
Yeah, thanks for calling in.
Amazing. Kind of surreal for me because I've been listening to you guys for so long. Recently joined the Patreon. I was the one commenting on your Bond reviews saying, like, if I could hear your Skyfall thoughts on one of those long discussions, I would be so happy. Because Joseph kind of teased this thing of like, this one worked for me thematically, this one really hits for me. And then you got to the Skyfall mention, and I was like, what are the moments in that, which is a lot of people's kind of favorite of the Daniel Craig era, or it was at least the most box office successul. But just to throw out that at least you have one person in the audience who's still very interested in that series continuing.
Thank you so much. We are too. It is totally just we put too much on our plates and got too busy, and I really want to finish that. It's so much fun to discuss it with Ken and to revisit it, and
always up for discussing Daniel Craig Bond films, so it's in our minds too as well. So there you go. And eventually, all episodes of Young Indiana Jones Chronicles or something. We'll clone ourselves.
Yeah, I loved your Indie Center too. I just went through all of those. You guys are accompanying me at the gym all the time, so I really appreciate that.
Love it. We do what we can.
I wanted to first just ask you guys about, apologies if you already covered part of this, but do you think that it will be a film or a series? Because I know that with Marvel and like with Daredevil, they were hesitant about causing the audience to have to do too much homework in relation to following back up with a film, checking in on a TV series where things have changed, and then feeling like you can't go back to the movies after that. So I've heard some people throw around, is Mando and Grogu just a movie series now, which would kind of change the whole discussion.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a possibility that they just do it as a movie series now, because they've trained an audience to make a leap. They've probably introduced some new people to Mandalorian and Grogu. That I think it would certainly be hard for them to keep dancing back and forth to do like season 4 in a movie, season 5 in a movie. And I think so much is just I think in the next year or so, we will find out a lot more of what they are doing with live action, because the only live action show that we know of is Ahsoka season 2, and they just bumped it back to early 2027. And then 2027 will be perfectly noisy with, with all of the 50th anniversary. And I suspect a release of Maul. There's a part of me that feels like, are they going to try to see, like, can we get away with just not making any more live action shows and Star Wars fans won't cancel their subscriptions? Like, I am a little concerned about that, because they have everybody always wants things to be safe. And the easy answer to, some of the dings on Star Wars was, oh, we put out too many live action shows and people don't like the shows as much as the movies. Movies is where Star Wars lives. I am a little concerned about that. So I really hope, I'm very hopeful that the Mandalorian Grogu stories will continue. And I'd be thrilled if, while I'm talking, they announce season 4 for Disney Plus. But I do think it's a possibility of just continuing as a film story.
Yeah, or a special series. Yeah, I don't know why in my gut. I just think that episodic season 4 version of this show doesn't really maybe have a chance to see the light of day. But who knows? I don't think the industry knows. We keep saying that, and that's based on what you see and what you read, and even kind of what you hear sometimes around town. But I don't think it's ill-fated. The idea of streaming is not completely ill-fated yet. Clearly,
no. Do you have a preference on kind of how on movie or television on how this story is presented?
I would be okay with films. I mean, if that's, I really did enjoy Mando and Grogu. I wish I loved it as much as you guys did, because I think I went in expecting some bigger leaps in terms of the character development. I know you guys talked about the Din's arc being a bit smaller. I kind of wanted Grogu and him to almost be separated earlier on in the film, so we could live in that Grogu on his own, learning his own path through this adventure of survival. Where it landed in the film, I was like, isn't it almost over? And now he's on his own. But I want to see it again, because you guys have helped teach me that the first time I go into a film, especially with Star Wars, I'm seeing it for what I expected it to be. And then the next time I see it, and every time after that, I'm seeing it for what it is. And those are two very, very different experiences. So I do want to see it again. And now that I know like what kind of stuff they're putting down in the Mando and Grogu film series, let's hope, if they're going to go on these more self-contained adventures that don't require homework, maybe it's not about Mandalore. Maybe it's not about whether he's going to start showing his face again. Maybe we're not going to explore Grogu's trauma deeply through Order 66. But if we're doing this sort of episodic format, it makes me think of Star Trek in a way, how like that crew goes to a planet, it's self-contained. They learn things about themselves through the characters that are kind of suffering or pondering an ethical thing happening on that one planet. Then maybe they move on. And you kind of see the light in their eyes change as Kirk, his view of himself as a captain is like reflected in Star Trek Beyond. It's the Idris Elba character, but it's like, I'm more devoted to what I believed in terms of wanting to be part of Starfleet, because I've seen this other captain who has gone astray and who has lost his way. And for the next one, let's see Grogu decide where that planet is. Let's see him lead the way, because that's kind of Din's offer to him is, you're a Mandalorian too, you're at the con, like you tell us where to go. What if Grogu sees an injustice out there in the galaxy somewhere that reminds him of what he went through in Order 66, or he sees something that doesn't feel right of a group that's maybe not powerful in the Force, but special in some other way, where their resources or their size or their status is being exploited. And through his communication style, him and Mando go after this, and you see it change them. So we could learn about them, even if we're not directly flashing back with that hammer of trauma that you always talk about.
It's so good. I just watched that episode, and I do want to see the hammer of trauma. But I love that comparison. That's so great. I love the idea of a proactive Grogu of saying, "This is the mission I want. These are the people that I think we should help next." And yeah, all sorts of Star Trek movies come to mind, but partially because of the age I was when it came out, Wrath of Khan is one of my favorites. And the character stake, a lot happens, but the character stakes for Kirk are, I feel kind of old. And by the end, it's like, I feel better about being old. And that might be, again, kind of Favreau pulling a little bit more from the 70s, 80s, early 90s, where it's an adventure and a character is wrestling with the kind of an issue, and they feel a little better about that issue by the end of the movie, rather than kind of what we got used to in the shows, which is Mando starts at point A and ends way over here at point C. That might be really interesting. Star Trek's a great insight.
Oh, great. Very smart, insightful stuff, Jordan. I appreciate you calling in with that. And yeah, a lot potentially on the table. And I also know what you mean of, like, you know, it like we said on the show, the Din's character arc and development is a little closer to the chest than what a lot of people, I think, wanted. But and I meet you there at that too. It's something I understand. But yeah, I'll see it again for the first time, as we always say around here.
Yeah,
I will. I want to go this weekend.
Oh yeah, see what those second weekend numbers will be. Yeah, I know I said this before too, but the more I think about it, is like I think that final trailer in particular didn't do the movie a lot of favors, because I think it got us all sort of speculating of like so much more is going to happen with this separation, and separation is the story. It's the story, not the jumping off point. You know.
Yeah, indeed.
Yeah.
Jordan, if this was your first time calling, right?
Yeah, it was.
That was a home run of a call, my friend.
Thank you.
Worth the wait. Appreciate it very much. And,
I'll be back.
Wonderful.
Good threat. And yeah, we'll get to Bond. We'll get to more Indy, and we'll get to Office Space. We'll get to the Barbie movie. I'm gonna make Joseph watch Young Guns 1 and 2. I mean, we got a lot to do.
We all have our preferences. Skyfall first. Just do like 5-10 minutes on Skyfall, and I'll be good for a bit.
The Skyfall mini-sode. Yes, we'll work on it.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, I mean, I truly do wish we could clone ourselves.
I know there's a lot of stuff I'd like to do. Maybe we'll get into a rhythm. I would love to do. Yeah.
Yeah. We'll do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Got a couple of super chats we should grab here.
Indeed.
This comes to us from Eaton Black, who says, "How do you think Lucasfilm can change the negative narrative around Star Wars?" Just a quick, easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think the first thing to figure out is how negative, how much of it is narrative and how much actual negativity is there. Like, how much is it people are not us all in fans, but how much is it that the general audience is like, yeah, it's been too much Star Wars, or I kind of have a negative opinion about Star Wars, and how much is it Star Wars is one of the many things that has been caught in the crosshairs of the nature of discourse on social media, grifters and bad actors attacking it for things that have nothing to do with the narrative, but just for other people having a voice, and trying to separate all that out. And I feel like some of the mood and the energy of the Mando and Grogu was like, it did fine at the box office the first weekend. We'll see how it does the second weekend. But it just, I know I've mentioned before, but just being in line with folks on that Thursday night outside of Grauman's, and just such elation and such happiness to be seeing a Star Wars movie, and it seemed like some people were just totally unaware that there was a world of negativity online. And it made me wonder how much am I wearing not rose-colored glasses, but like poodoo-colored glasses?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. It's a good question. It's a fair question, because I think sometimes we run in circles where there is a negative narrative around the franchise, and the film's pulled back, and the film's announced but not done, and all those things, and you can't deny that that's a truth. And you and I have often said a little more clarity on that. I thought they had some clarity in London, but that, we could laugh about it, but I still think they felt slightly forced into it, not with the projects, but the announcement of it, maybe because of what cons have become. But to me, what remains, the dust clears, what remains is 3 films we have not yet even seen, or apparently close to seeing, and that does fuel that negative kind of narrative out there in the worlds of fans. And I'm not even talking about, and I think you're right to bring up the grifter side of it, or those just out there looking for the negative side. And as I learned this week in the comment section over on Screen Junkies, a lot of people just really enjoy only looking at their negative thoughts about things and not analyzing anything else. But you know what I mean? Like just some clarity might be it. Right now they got, I think, a wave of good momentum out of this one, despite what the box office ends up being in the end and all that kind of stuff. They'll be all right. But I think they've got some good momentum. And we'll see if they can carry that a year forward.
Ethan says, I think one good movie could do it if it's good enough. Maybe Starfighter. Yeah, I agree. I think the 50th anniversary, releasing the what they're claiming is an original cut of Star Wars,
right?
A film that is set totally in new timeline, in terms of being after Rise of Skywalker. Also a standalone adventure with no baggage attached to it. I think next year could be a let's for the general public, let's put some of the the debate in the grumpiness in the rearview mirror for a moment.
Yeah, I agree. It's a complicated. It's a question that has a lot of complicated answers to it. Of course, James Holmes asks another simpler question: have you seen animated Lion King yet? No, I have not.
No. That will make that special on ForceCenter. We'll either do a live watch or we'll do a watch and immediately do a live stream. But yeah, no, we've been too deeply, thoroughly, and fairly shamed for never seeing the animated Lion King, and we will make a thing of it.
Yes. Yes. Once it gets to that point, you must make it a thing. Question here before we take a call from Jedi James. Elias says, if the path is still a thing at this point in the timeline, it would be cool to see young Grogu helping younglings find sanctuary, or maybe even meeting young Ben Solo. Yeah. I could be on board for something related to that and the path, and coming off obviously the Kenobi series and Bad Batch and some of that stuff. The path was riding high, right? The path was high in the charts, just the concept behind it, and maybe not so much as now, but it's still rich with ideas, and Mandalorian and Grogu, the characters interacting with more of the Star Wars galaxy, and they've already done that a lot in Mando, the show, of course. But you know what I mean? And I'm not talking just classic characters or Luke showing back up in some way, shape, or form, but just like them out and about and part of the New Republic a little more. Like, is that the next big step? Is Din signs on for employment? He gets the patch, he is New Republic. Is that the choice he wants to make? That could be interesting to me, and tying it to the path could be fun. And I know the path goes far back,
Yes. Yeah. Or you're making me think we could also just jump to the future and have James Mangold do a film just called Din. And it's old man Din has to put the armor back on in the days of the First Order because his son Grogu comes to him and is like, we gotta go rescue all the Force sensitive kids who are going to be at risk now that the First Order has risen.
Yeah, and that's I know I was crunching the timelines up, but kind of thinking about that stuff going forward.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic.
Yeah. Love that. Thank you, Les, for that question. Let's take a call here from Jedi James, our potential last call of the day. So you're a cleanup hitter, Jedi James. What do we got?
In terms of what I want to see for Mandalorian and Grogu going forward, I very much, I feel Jordan put me on the spot because I loved what he said about engaging with where the story is going at this point and not what we think it might be, and said it eloquently, so I don't want to repeat. But even still, I firmly want to see the journey keep being Mando and Grogu and these continued adventures they have, because it really is an adventure each and every time, and they each gain something new in their life from it. But I would very much love to see one, even if it's not the full focus, a big picture idea of what is Mandalore going to be? What does it mean to be a Mandalorian at this point? And because Mandalorians have been many things. They've been blood-thirsty conquerors. They've been warriors who sought battle for the sake of it. They've been peaceful under Duchess Satine, and I would very much love to keep seeing more of that, more of what thoughts of that are at this time too. And I feel like we've already started getting that with Din, where he's like, violence is a last resort for me. I'll still do it, but it's a last resort. And I don't deal with the criminal underworld. I deal with respectable, legitimate things, because that is going to get us further in this new time period of the galaxy. So really seeing what Mandalore is going to be and seeing it reflected through, I think, Din and Grogu more is the best way to do it, because they're very much Mandalorians and they're tied into all of that. And I would very much love to know, this is going to sound kind of weird, but what is the end point for them at this point in the Star Wars timeline, because Star Wars, it keeps going on. The story keeps going on until sadly our characters aren't with us anymore. R.I.P. Obi-Wan, R.I.P. Han Solo, Leia, so on and so forth. R.I.P. Mullen, we're still getting stories about him. But even though we know eventually our characters leave us, as all characters must, rejoice for those who go in the Force. But each part of their story always feels like it has an ending. The original trilogy was an ending for Luke, Han, and Leia. The sequel trilogy was, sadly, the ending for Luke, Han, and Leia. The sequel trilogy had an ending for Rey, Poe, and Finn. So on and so forth. You could keep going. Even Revenge of the Sith was an ending for that point of Anakin's time period. All that to say, Din and Grogu certainly don't have to leave us, but what is the end point for their journey is in this New Republic era. Before we get, old man Din taking up the armor once more, I'm totally on board with that. So I'd really love to see those two things in particular, and just keep seeing this father-son bond tighten, because a good, healthy parent relationship is not something that you can get enough of, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think those are great points. And like I said, I'm rewatching season 3 now, but if I remember correctly, at that ceremony in the final episode, the armor was kind of like, he can't just sit here on Mandalore being a Mandalorian. He needs to go have experiences and learn the galaxy and learn the ways. So I do feel like, is there they've been so animated by their opposition to the Imperial Remnant, and I feel like the general lore right now is Thrawn gets defeated and everybody thinks, well, that's it. That's a wrap on the Empire. So if, Grogu became a full Mandalorian and they both returned to Mandalore, I think that would be a nice sort of sunset moment for right now. And I love the way that you're saying that, because I think that's what I'm after too. I don't really want, personally, Djarin to die and Grogu have to be like, I can go on my own. But I would love for them to be like, yep, this is a great sunset moment for this chapter. And then who knows, in the real world, it could be 15 years before somebody wants to pick them up and tell a story again, kind of thing, Not that I'm saying I want that either, but I think you illustrate really well that arc with Star Wars characters of, it's important to finish the chapter that they're on, and the chapter they're on does feel really unfinished to me.
Yeah, it sounds like from John's comments that he understands that, at least in the sense of, I got a lot more things to say about these characters, a lot more adventures to tell. So I think you're onto something. I definitely like what you're saying about the chapters, so to speak, ending. While you're talking, I'm thinking of, I just see a poster of the Mandalorian, Grogu, and Mandalore, just like in the same font. And just finally answer the big Mandalorian question of where they go from here. But I also like what you're saying, Joseph, about that kind of being maybe a bigger endpoint. So lot to go there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And as we've asked everyone, do you have any, are you more focused on the story, or do you have a strong preference between television or film?
I don't know if I do have a preference. I mean, I'd obviously love both. Both would be wonderful. But I feel I love the film because it was, in my opinion, so much more grand scale, which not that the show has ever felt lacking to me. Goodness no. I mean, for crying out loud, in season 3 we go to Mandalore and Coruscant and beautiful. I forget the name with Lizzo and Captain Bombardier. I love that episode. But no, I so both epic in their own ways, both wonderful. Part of me almost leans television just so we could get a little bit more time with them, just a little bit more time to see more adventures, more expansion of the story. But both I would take. I mean, Star Wars TV show, movie, book, tell me the story and I will happily admit that. But what I'm getting from you, Ken, is that the title is just going to keep getting longer and more pulpy. Or it's going to be Mandalorian, Grogu, Mandalorian, Grogu, and Mandalore. Mandalorian and Grogu, the forging of the sacred Beskar Amma and the pits of the Mythosaur.
Yep.
And Bob and Carol and Ted and Alice, everybody will be there. Great.
Yeah. The Mandalorian, Grogu, and the Mandalorian adventure. Yeah, that's what I want.
But I do love these characters, and I hope we get more of them.
Great thoughts, Jedi James.
Same. Thank you, my friend. Thanks for calling in as always. There we go. We have some comments to get to, and then we can get on out of here. Cali Kid saying, I would love to see more Rebel characters crossed over with the Mandalorian and Grogu's world. And more Zeb, too. He was a nice supporting character here, but I know, there's a lot more to maybe do with that character. And I think, with the technology always getting better every day, maybe we could find a way to do that.
Yeah, no, I think that would be fantastic. And yeah, I was watching one of Alex and Molly's good discussions about the Mandalorian and Grogu and some debate about the timeline. And like, yeah, I think Ezra being back at some point will kind of affect some things. So maybe Grogu and Ezra could have a hang. That would be lovely.
Ooh, that'd be good too. Gaz says, Filoni, Favs, Sigourney Weaver, Pedro did a quick debunking Q&A on YouTube. One point John made was that the audience would see the story trajectory after the movie, presumably the Republic and Mando relationship. So, all right. So John's already soft pitching. He's soft pitching.
He's gonna get Din to put on a General Medine shirt over the armor.
and Rada as well. Ethan has a couple there.
Will we see Grogu kill a man one day?
Yeah.
The way Grogu was not using the Force for violence made me feel like that would be a hard choice. That would be a hard choice at this point.
Yeah, Grogu killed a man. Yeah,
You guys heard Grogu killed a guy? Yeah, that would be. Yeah, sorry.
He could wrestle with it. Yeah, I'm trying to imagine it. Yeah. Ethan also says, we're not late today. We're only minutes late, but we always arrive when we mean to.
Ken, this is the most important question that we've been saving for the last as we wrap up here. So, Ken, what do you have on your hot dog?
Look, this is going to be really disappointing to a lot of people. I love hot dogs. I don't look in the ingredients. I have plausible deniability. I like pretty simple hot dogs. Ketchup, mustard, relish, onions, maybe. But most likely, as I said this on yesterday on the Blathering, like going to Dodger Stadium tonight, if the line is long and there's some anxiety of making sure I get to my seat on time, nothing. Meat, bun, mouth. That's it.
What do you want on your hot dog? My mouth. Well, that's a good answer, Ken.
And I don't mean to disparage Chicago dogs, but it's too busy. It's too much. These hot dogs that have like half a meal on them and it falls off, and you can't eat that at a seat. Hot dogs to me are best when they're mobile. Can you eat it while walking around a barbecue? Can you eat it by playing bocce ball or some kind of lawn game or throwing a lawn dart in the air and killing a kid? Like they used to do in the 70s. That's what a hot dog is to me.
I heard Grogu killed a guy with a lawn dart. Will Dixon says, I read that in Laura Palmer's voice. Grogu killed a guy. That's what I was thinking too, Will Dixon. Shout out to my fellow Twin Peaks fans as well.
There you go. All right. Well, that's it. We did it. I am going to go get ready to get some hot dogs tonight. We'll be back. Normal programming. Yeah, Monday. I forget.
Tuesday. I got to take Monday off.
Right.
So we'll be doing something on Tuesday.
Yep, that's right. Joseph out of commission, Jen out of commission. I'm just going to be out of commission, so join us Tuesday. Thanks for the support. Thanks for the super chats today, everybody. We really appreciate you. Links down below for all the things we do. Check out my website for updates on other things, Joseph's website for short films and more information. And support us on Patreon, patreon.com/ForceCenter. And then you call into the show. There we go. That's it. For me, for you.
Thanks, everybody, for the great thoughts. Check out my YouTube page. That's it.
That's it. Goodbye.